Content warning. This is a horror game and is not intended for all audiences. Please visit our website, blacktabbygames.com, if you need a full list of content warnings. Slay the Princess contains flickering image effects as well as parallax effects that on rare occasions has caused motion sickness in players. If either of these cause health issues for you, you can disable them in the game's preferences. Whatever horrors you may find in these dark spaces, have heart and see them through. There are no premature endings. There are no wrong decisions. There are only fresh perspectives and new beginnings. This is a love story. Speaking of preferences, one quick thing there, we go get rid of that bar. This game refuses to start up on the right screen, and that's my fault. That is not the problem with the game. So hi, my name's Bryce. Welcome to VHS Play, where we are going to be playing Slay the Princess and recording it all on VHS, or at least some of it. Probably not going to go through all of the endings, but hey, maybe we can at least get one. If you're new around here, that's kind of the whole deal. Yes, this is actually being recorded on a proper VHS. It involves like many chords and signal conversions, and in my case, 3 different VCRs. Don't worry about it. That's my problem. And yes, I do have this actually hooked up to run and display on a CRT TV. It's gross and silly, but I like the vibes. The VHS vibes sure are a thing, and usually it provides me a very physical nostalgia filter, but we don't need that this time around, since this game just came out. So, well, hey. Oh, this has been a whole process of me trying to figure out all of this stuff. Oh, by the way, this is a horror game. So, man, this art is super cool. Anyway, I've had enough of struggling to get started here, so I'm going to start, and you can stop listening to me ramble. Instead, hear some other voices. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
I do not have auto turned on.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Let's see, we have options. The end of the world? What are you talking about here? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget it, I'm not doing this. Have you considered... This is a lot of options. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Okay, thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet, I've always wanted to off a monarch. Viva la revolution. Silently continue to the cabin, turn around, and leave.
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
But how can a princess locked away in a basement in the world? If you don't tell me why she's dangerous, I'm not going to kill her. Do you have any evidence to back this up? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? So we have a couple new options, and looks like all the others. Oh, look, I'll go to the cabin, I'll talk to her, she's bad, maybe I'll slay her. Good lord, this is a lot more options than I was expecting for... I don't know. Let's see, but I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her face to face. Okay, I'm sold. Okay, thanks for telling me what to do, sweet, and the usuals. But how can a princess locked away in a basement in the world?
Linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Who's we? That's the question I want to ask. Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
You have a point. Have you considered the maybe I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end. I mean, maybe some people do. Nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Do you have any evidence to back this up?
You're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because
While
she's
I
locked up?
appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's fascinating. The hero has a voice, but we're also the hero, but also external to the hero?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
I suppose we'll take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
I do like just, hi! Just checking in on you. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you. I feel like silence is currently our best bet.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world? Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Oh, what? No way. Why would you even think that? Okay, yeah, I'm here to kill you. Nuh-uh. I haven't decided yet. I'm just here to talk, steal your nerves, and step forward. I haven't decided yet is where I'm sitting currently, but also it is revealing our hand that we are undecided and could be swayed. I haven't decided yet.
How about you drop the knife and the two of us just talk?
Look how reasonable she's being. We should just drop the blade and talk things out. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
We'll tighten our grip.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us? Are you sure she's not armed? I'm sorry, can we just talk? I'm not dropping the blade. Drop the blade, slay the princess. I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Squint while holding onto the blade.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
I kind of like this as the somewhat comedy, but also just like, no, really. We'll squint even harder.
Squint even harder. So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have to blink.
Slay the princess.
Doubt, unfortunately, clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw. It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike is enough to stagger you, putting you and the princess on somewhat equal footing. Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit. We can still turn this around.
Finish the job, or at least try so.
Stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can at least make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now. Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job. The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
I didn't think about...
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I didn't think about the whole Chapter 1 part of that first title card. Terrible sensation. Wait, hasn't this already happened? Okay, no, but I died. What am I doing here? She's going to kill me again. I slew her. I slew the princess. She killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I here again? Wait, hasn't this already happened?
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning. That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
Interesting that we now have two voices. One of which is the voice of the stubborn, which we certainly were being that last time around. Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother to do anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We did our best with the information we were given, and we did kill her. And yet you still died, didn't you? So congratulations. You've been given another chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We killed the princess killed us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? Ugh, enough with the talking. We've got a fight to win. Nothing else matters. I couldn't agree more. The cabin and your destined confrontation with the princess awaits.
I am wondering if there's a significance to the narrator and the voice of the hero and the voice of the stubborn all being the same voice actor. I don't know this studio particularly well, so I don't know, like, I know they have another game and it's got this excellent visual style, but I don't know what tricks they have up their sleeves. And considering we're already in a bit of a time loop, let's talk about this princess. We killed each other last time around. How can I make sure that doesn't happen again? All she did last time around was beat me to death. How can someone like that in the world? To quote you from last time around, she's just a princess. Why was she strong enough to beat me to death with her bare hands? Who locked her in the basement? What is this place? We killed each other last time around. How can I make sure that doesn't happen again?
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world.
All she did last time around was beat me to death. How can someone like that in the world? To quote you from last time around, she's just a princess. Why was she strong enough to beat me to death with her bare hands?
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin, and you'll be fine. Oh, this is maddening. Why do you keep asking questions? There's nothing wrong with getting the full picture of what's going on here. Sure there is. It's wasting time and energy that would be better spent fighting.
You're being cagey. What aren't you telling me?
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. What else would we even need to know? We've got all the reason we need for a rematch. Exactly. The less you know about her, the better.
Who locked her in the basement? What is this place?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
If people locked her away, why couldn't they slay her? Why is this falling on me?
Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special. Yeah, I like the sound of that. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
That's all.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin. A warning before you go any further. She will lie She will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Lying and cheating doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Are you sure about that? The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there, so don't trust her. Ever. Are we clear?
Crystal. Let's just get on with it already.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination. The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
See? Even the cabin has the right idea. Let's get moving.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
We need to approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago.
And now it's gone, so all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
This whole cabin is different from last time.
Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. The world is depending on you.
I'm leaving the blade upstairs.
No knife this time. Right then, fisticuffs it is. Probably more fair to her anyway. Wouldn't want to feel like we cheated our way to a win.
As long as you can still get the job done. And don't forget that the blade is waiting for you upstairs if you happen to change your mind.
See, the narrator's got it. The blade is still up here.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulphuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement wall. Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I've been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us. But no little knife this time, huh? No, I hope you're not just here to chat. I've been itching for a rematch.
screw it. Oh no, she's hot. Anyway, I hope you heard all of that, Mr. Narrator. This is a lot different from the last time, but last time definitely happened. You look different, so you do remember me. I actually am just here to chat. I'm actually here to free you. I'm not saying I'm not here to fight, but I think two of us have a few things to unpack first, like how we're both still alive. So many options. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. Don't worry, I'm always up for a good fight. In fact, the only reason I came down here was without a weapon. It's because the knife felt fair. Attacker unarmed, blades upstairs. I'll be right back. Don't know what happened to you since the last time we met, but I'm not fighting a giant demon lady. Turn around and leave. Torn between these first two of you look different and mention the narrator. I hope you heard all of that, Mr. Narrator. This is a lot different from the last time, but last time definitely happened.
Okay, fine. Let's say for a moment I believe you. For all we know, whatever happened to you last time was just a fluke, and beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember what happened last time.
Are you okay?
Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world is still very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
You look different.
Aside from your empty hands, you look exactly the same.
So you do remember me.
No, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again? Or are you scared I'm going to put you down for good this time?
Are you just going to let her talk to us like that? We're not scared. I think my position on violence in this situation is already more than clear, but you really shouldn't let yourself be goaded so easily. There's more at risk in this encounter than your fragile ego.
I agree. If we're gonna fight her, we need a weapon.
Not saying I'm not here to fight, but I think the two of us have a few things to unpack first. Like how we're both still alive.
What is there to unpack? I was dead and now I'm not, and the same goes for you. There. Unpacking done. Don't you get it? We've been given free rein to wail on each other. Forever.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I haven't decided what I'm doing yet.
And why not? You decided what to do with me quickly enough last time. Are you scared I'm going to kill you again? Maybe you're worried I'll put you down for good this time. If you want to talk, I guess I can talk. But you should come a little closer first.
Sure, we'll step closer.
You take a cautious step towards the princess, unarmed. I wish I could believe you know what you're doing, but you clearly don't. You stop a few feet short of her reach, her chains taut as she stares down at you.
She's a lot bigger than I thought she was.
Why do you sound so scared? We can take her.
Well, What do you want? Because every second we waste talking is a second we could spend killing each other instead.
Why do you want us to kill each other? Can't we just, I don't know, spar a little? Maybe there's a compromise where we can all get what we want. Nobody has to die. The world doesn't have to end. If all you want is to fight me, does that mean the world won't end? Don't you want to be free? What happened after you died? We'd figure out why we're here. You were put down here for a reason. I was sent to kill you for a reason. Don't you care what that reason is? Go get the knife. What happened after you died?
I woke up, didn't you?
You're different.
I know. You already told me.
The basement is
I
different.
like it. It's so cramped. Like the only way out of here is through each other.
Doesn't any of this bother you? Don't you care about what you are?
Ugh, I care, okay? I guess I just care differently than you. When I saw you come back down here, I thought you would understand. I thought that we would want the same thing. But all you've done is ask me annoying little questions. It's like you don't even want to enjoy being alive.
I wish you could hear me right now. I want to enjoy being alive. I want to fight.
Or we could just walk single file out of here.
That's right, not everything has to be so violent.
That's pathetic. I would never do that, and I hate that you even suggested it.
Sure, we'll ask the last question. You don't have any wounds.
You don't either.
Why do you want us to kill each other?
Why wouldn't I want that? Why don't you want that? It felt good last time. It felt right. And it makes sense.
You were put down here for a reason. I was sent here to kill you for a reason. Don't you care what that reason is?
I don't need to care, because I already know what I am. I've already found my purpose.
The princess flashes a sinister grin.
You.
Does she mean her purpose is killing us?
No, she means fighting us. She means both of us getting stronger through sheer pain and will. The fear of death no longer able to hold us back. Just go and pick up the blade already. I'm sick of all this anticipation. We're ready.
I thought you wanted a fist fight, Mr. Stubborn. If all you want to do is fight me, does that mean that you won't end the world?
The world? If there's a world, I haven't seen it. There's you, and there's me, and there's the ground beneath our feet. Why would I care about ending something I've never seen?
Don't you want to be free?
Free?
The princess glances down at her chains.
Oh, you mean these? They're just metal. They're nothing.
She steps forward, her bindings creaking under the pressure of her strength. And then they snap. It was only a matter of time, but she's loose. Dear Lord, what do we do? Oh, if only there was some sort of weapon you could use to fight a world-ending monstrosity. I wonder where you'll find one of these.
Just do exactly what I've been telling you to do since the second we got here. Take the blade, fight her, kill her, and win.
What? Did you think you were safe standing right outside my grasp? The only reason I haven't drawn blood is because I want to make sure that your heart is in it. I don't like fighting someone with a weak spirit. But go ahead. Keep trying my patience.
Well, I guess we have to go get the knife. No fist fight allowed. Fine. If you want to fight, I'll give you a fight. I'll be right back.
I'll be waiting, but you better not be wasting my time.
You make your way back up the stairs to the cabin above. The princess, surprisingly true to her word, lets you leave. The blade remains where you left it, on the wrought iron altar.
Great. Now pick it up and march back down there. I'm tired of us constantly moving in circles instead of fighting her like we're supposed to.
You take the blade from the altar. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon, as I'm sure you're all too aware by now.
Let's go.
Blade in hand, you make your way back down the basement stairs. You find the princess waiting for you, just where you left her.
See? I knew we could trust her. I told you we could trust her.
Glad to see you finally stopped having cold feet. I could barely wait. My skin is practically crawling with anticipation. Fight me. Now.
Let's attack the princess then.
Finally ready to complete your destined task, you launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess. Here we go. Let's make this count.
Oh, we'll make it count, all right.
As you bridge the gap, your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood. But she's unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor.
She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me. It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart. You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point? So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win. She's huge, but that probably means she's slower than us. Take it slow. Think it through. Don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action.
Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through her.
This just seems like a bad idea, quite frankly.
If that's your plan, then that's your plan. Push off the ground, ignoring the pain in your ribs as you charge at the princess once more. You can feel flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum, your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. She grins at you from behind her guard. Pull it out. We'll try a different angle.
No, we can do this. Just keep pushing.
We're not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm.
Alright, this time Hero has a point. Unlodge the blade and attack her from a different angle.
You pull back on the blade's hilt, doing your best to free it from its sinewed prison. But as you tug the blade free, the princess slams you down onto her knee. It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter, cracking like wet wood from the impact. You find yourself in midair, effortlessly tossed across the room. You hit the floor, your ribs complaining painfully, but you can feel the hilt in your grip. You still have your weapon. You push yourself off the ground and attack the princess, trying to bait an opening. You do your best to outplay her, slashing out and leaving red cuts in the tattered fringe of her white dress. But you have little room to maneuver. For every glancing blow you manage to land, she slams you against the wall in retaliation, each impact threatening to be the last.
This weak little dance isn't working. Just toughen up and overpower her.
She's throwing us around like a ragdoll. I think overpowering her is a little out of the question.
Did you think you could stop me with a few cuts? All this dancing around is doing nothing but annoying me. I own this place, and I own you.
The princess's arm shoots forward, her palm wrapping around your head, fingers gripping your skull.
How disappointing.
She squeezes, the pressure unbearable as her fingers dig into your scalp. The last thing you hear is the unsettling crack of your skull, and the sickening churn of what was your grey matter. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 3. The Eye of the Needle.
You're on a path in the wood.
If you weren't so damned afraid of what she'd do to you, we wouldn't have died back there.
Fear is good. Fear keeps us alive. We died because you didn't have enough of it.
So what? You'd have us cower in a corner?
No, but that place suits her better than it suits us. She's big. We can't hope to find holes and openings down there. We need more room if we're going to survive. Are you suggesting luring her into the woods? Do you have any idea how dangerous that would be? If you lose sight of her, if she manages to slip away, that's it. Game over for everyone, yourself included. Are you not challenging us on all the looping? Have you known about it the whole time? Are you the same one we've been talking to since the beginning? Sorry to disappoint what I'm sure must feel like a grand revelation, but that's not what's going on here. We've never met. Then what is going on? What's going on is that you'd only be saying the things you've been saying if you'd already been here, and if you'd already seen things you weren't supposed to have seen. It doesn't matter. We could go in circles forever. I don't like staying still for too long. Let's get to the cabin, see this through. It's good to know that at least one of you is still capable of reason. We may have the same destination, but we're not the same. You are still an other, and I don't trust you. Well, fortunately, you have an entire trip through the woods to reconsider that.
There's nothing to reconsider. We're all for violence here.
Are we? I haven't signed off on anything yet. Violence is the answer here, but the method is equally important to the act. You can't let her leave the cabin. It's like I said, all just circles. Instinct tells me we need space, and I trust instinct. Nothing else to say. Not for me.
Or what happens next seems like all our answers are in the cabin, we might as well proceed. Silently proceed to the cabin. I'm done with this. Bye. What if I don't agree with the plan? What if I'd rather do something else? We haven't talked about how different this place is. I wouldn't even call these woods. It's like her influence has poured out into the world.
It's evidence of one of many ticking clocks. You can't let her spread any further. Things are always changing. She changed, the cabin changed, we've changed. Why would the woods change too? Because they're not supposed to have changed. This is supposed to be a path in the woods. If it's not, it means something's gone horribly wrong.
Silently proceed to the cabin.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up the hill at the cabin. I hope you've given serious thought to your predicament. No last advice for us? No words of warning? From what I gather, you've heard it all before. There's no use screaming into the wind. I don't know. Screaming sounds pretty good right about now. I could use a little catharsis. Catharsis is for when we're finished. For now, we need to hold it out in front of us, something to chase.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is suffocatingly tight, more of a glorified tunnel than a building. Its stone walls squeeze against your sides, leaving you no choice but to press forward. The only furniture of note is an iron altar jutting out from the wall, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you're going to do this right. See, we have even less space than before. We need space or she'll kill us. And the only space is out there. Take it!
Going to take the blade before approaching
Take the
here.
blade from the altar. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. There's no overcoming her without it. We need every part of us to survive, and that steel claw is as much a part of us as any.
Approach the mirror.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You do see it, right? All we see is a damned mirror. This really is just like last time. It smells of nothing, yet it's still there.
Smash it.
You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement. It swings open, scraping against the floor as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? It was in our way, and now it's not. That's all that matters. Before you is what may as well be a sheer cliff face. There are enough footholds that you'll be able to clamber your way to the bottom, but it will require careful effort. The air hissing up from below is warm and wet, like the breath of an enemy locked in close quarters. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, bold and fierce and impatient, echoes from the chamber below.
Do you have more fight in you than last time? That was such a disappointing show. I know you can do better than that.
Go there, rile her up. If she's angry, she'll make mistakes.
I know you can get out of there on your own.
But that wouldn't be fun. I don't want to be a monster chasing you down. I want to face you head on. I want an equal. It's so much better that way.
We need to get closer. She needs to see us to give chase.
Continue to the basement landing.
You've nowhere to go but down. You start the difficult journey, gripping the stone, lowering yourself foot by grueling foot. But soon, there is solid ground beneath you. Remember, every crack and crevice will need to be faster than her. You turn to face what lies at the end of the narrow tunnel. The princess, imposing and tightly muscled, grins back at you from the darkness. Her face widens into a broad grin.
There you are, knife in hand. How thrilling! Attack me, bleed me, twist the blade in my flesh, break your bones against my body. I want a real challenge this time.
We can't get that close. She'll kill us in the tight space, steel claw or not. Make her come to us, stand beyond her chains, let her become frenzied. She'll break them. Then we run.
I really don't like the sound of this.
It's the only way we live.
Well, what are you waiting for? If we're going to do this right, you can't be scared. You need to want this as much as I do. So go on. Make the first move. Don't keep me waiting.
Let's talk a bit first. We can always fight when we're done, but I have questions. I want to know what happened after you killed me. Not down here. If you want, you'll have to come get me. If you want a good fight, let's go. If you really want to see me at my best, we need somewhere more space. Why don't you want to be free? Why do you insist we fight down? Fighting me to the death down here in the dark. I'm not fighting you. Stop just outside of her chains. We'll give her what she wants. Let's just go at it.
Change your plans, boys. Impatient. This is her home, not ours. You're going to let her kill us. You charge headlong into the princess, blade flashing in the dim light of the basement.
Yes, 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 yes! Finally, you get it!
For a moment, the scales feel balanced, each of you inflicting debilitating wounds on the other, striking in a dizzying synchronicity. It isn't long before they tip in her favor. The cuts and wounds inflicted seem little more than superficial, barely so much as slowing her down as she continues her onslaught. You, in contrast, finding it harder to stand as your body gradually becomes less responsive, less powerful, less stable. You can tell she's trying to make it last, but all it would take is one meaningful strike. The coup de grace.
This is good, but you could have been so much better. I'm beyond you now.
Here it comes. I'll see you all on the other side.
But the other side doesn't come. Something has taken her away, and it's left something else in her place.
Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her. The narrator is gone. I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror. The narrator is gone.
It is. Does that mean the world ended? It hasn't ended. We're still here.
The world didn't. We're still here. Come on. Just need to keep going.
approach the mirror.
Begging you, don't do this.
The mirror never scared you before.
It's different now. It feels, I don't know, final. The thing reeks of death.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
You approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. That thing reeks of death.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
The voices feel small, distant, as you approach. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. It's just a really cool visual. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
That's a lot of questions. What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
I don't know what I am.
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
The gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one yearns to grow and struggle. Even now I feel a will pushing against mine, not realizing that we are one. She will make for a fierce heart. Do not mourn her. We will provide her with the growth she fought for.
Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Do you know about the world beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess, or are you just making her a part of yourself? Say nothing, in fact, actually. Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
What happens now?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
Aren't you scared I'll find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
I was sent to slay the princess, to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
And what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry, hollow.
Okay. Make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Gosh dang, Steam sound effects. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods,
Steam, stop.
and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
This game is cool. Well, alright then. Seems like the point that I want to call this. Hmm. Man, this is neat. I'm just kind of staring at my recording clock and going, the VHS can't hold too many more minutes. But I do also want to keep going. But also, I kind of just want to play this for me at this point. But also, it's spooky season, and I kind of want to maybe stream this a bit. I don't know. This game's cool. It just came out. It is for like the next week or so at time of recording. I should get this video up before November 2nd because, you know, hopefully I'll hit some spooky season. Hey, this game just came out. It is currently on sale on Steam for launch special pricing. Go check it out. Hot dog. I am fascinated. This game kind of had my number from like real early on because, boy howdy, am I struggling against nihilism a lot these days, and getting called out on that. And in the, hey, what if I want the world to end? That's and now there is this grand princess entity thing in the void beyond. Oh, I am fascinated. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. This video should be going up soon. I don't know why I'm telling you this. It's more of talking to myself anyway. Let's call it here. Y'all, go check this out. It's neat. It's so weird I get to say that because I'm usually doing old stuff. I guess, okay, here's the deal. Channel update sort of things. I'm still immensely burnt out. Hence why I have missed most of spooky season despite saying I'll be back in spooky season. But I think VHS Play is going to turn more into just like a special sort of thing and not like focus on consistency as much, because this has always just been a hobby for me, and I don't know, I just kind of ultimately I'm burnt out. I need just more time, and I want this to be a more fun thing and not like something I have to do ultimately. And yeah, we'll see how things progress, but ultimately, like right now, things are busy. And we're about to go into November, which always sucks, and whatnot. So yeah, I think instead of trying to return to like normal schedule sorts of things, we'll just move into like, hey, here's a game that I just want to play through and share with folks, and do that instead, and not focus on going through entire series and then immediately into the next thing, because as it turns out, that's really hard to do when you're burnt out. Oh, holy crap, this game is neat. I am excited to play more of it, but that is going to happen not here, probably. Don't mind me, I'm just kind of stunned and speechless on just like, this is neat. Really impressed with just a lot of what's happening here. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling and just being kind of stunned. Y'all, have a good one. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Bryce. This has been VHS Play. Have yourself a lovely evening.